just gonna call it break. In January and February, it's already April, so my break was done in March. If you have no idea what I'm talking about, a brief summary is I was getting super duper overwhelmed and had like crazy moments of burnout and stress that I just felt like I was very much surviving and not thriving, trying to keep and I hadn't been to a restaurant in so long, because I think that with all of the quarantines and lockdowns over the past couple years, I got very comfortable in my house, which for me could be a little dangerous, because I do tend to set up my home base as very comfortable, very safe zone for me. I have everything I need. I don't want to leave. I don't want to do any of that. It's not safe out there right now anyway, so I have to stay home. I have to stay home. So by the time that everything sort of rolled around, where I was triple vaccinated, my whole family was triple vaccinated, everyone going to the wedding was triple vaccinated, that kind of thing, I'm like, alright, this is no longer a you need to stay in your house sort of thing. Like, you gotta go, you have to travel. I was terrified of getting on a plane. I was terrified of eating food and all this stuff. But it very much functioned. And I'll talk about this in another video, because I want to make a full video about my tattoo journey. But the purpose of my tattoo journey is multiple. And one of the purposes was to essentially, what's it called? Exposure therapy myself. When you are scared of something, so you intentionally expose yourself to that fear in steps, increasing in intensity. And when you do expose yourself to that, you expose yourself to your fear, you are fine. It can give you confidence and, kind of get you back to, at least for me, like get myself back to where I was. Because I didn't used to be this bad. And I was like recognizing that in myself, that I was getting very bad. I did not like that. So I got myself to Arizona. I went to the wedding. I ate food. I ate a donut without knowing the ingredients in it. That was big for me. Like, those kind of things that sound very simple. I'm sure a lot of you can relate or apply it to your own situation if you do have like anxiety or a specific fear about something. The thing about anxiety is that it goes against logic, so you can tell yourself something logically, but your anxiety does not care, and it will never care. And if you could just simply logic it away, you would. It would be so easy. That would be great, wouldn't it? But it doesn't work that way. However, the trip was very good. I ended up staying for a few days afterwards with my brother and his wife and Ben. And we went on hikes, and we went to restaurants, and it very much was a big stepping stone for me in terms of, you can do this, like, you can get back into it. Exposure therapy is what you need to do. So that was very good. In the beginning of January, we went to the Grand Canyon. Stunning Grand Canyon. We saw the sunrise there. It was beautiful. I'll post a picture, maybe, perhaps. Grand Canyon. It was on my Instagram. So I had a really, really good time. And then I think when I got back, I didn't do a ton of traveling during this break because I had so much I wanted to get done. I was terrified that I would kind of squander the 2 months that I had, which, when you become an adult, like, a month feels like a dang week. It's so fast every time. It's like, I don't want to squander this time. And I'm going to start March. I'm going to have to get back into my 3-a-week schedule, and I'm not going to be ready. I'm not going to have anything figured out. So I did really avoid traveling or doing, like, accessing. So some people were like, oh my gosh, enjoy your vacation. Like, what are you going to do? I'm like, vacation? Perhaps not. I'll count the Grand Canyon. That was my vacation. I did also make it to New York City to help James, my cousin, get his first tattoo. So that was fantastic. He got, I'll ask if he wants to post a picture here, but he got the avatar symbols on the inside of his arm from the same artist that I got my L from. An artist named Yoon. She's at Daredevil Tattoo NYC. Incredible. Absolutely incredible. Because it was his first tattoo, and I was like, I know the perfect tattoo artist. when you are tidying your space and you pick something up and you go, I know where this goes, and you're able to just put it away. Godly. God, transcendent. Absolutely transcendent. So I did a lot of that kind of thing because I was in like survival mode. I would just like throw crap anywhere because I'm like, I can't deal with this right now. It doesn't matter. I don't care. I just have to throw it in the closet and close the door because Mama's gonna go work. So that was good. Got that done. One thing that I had talked about before was getting my anxiety and ADHD kind of in check. So I did that by making sure that I went to my psychiatrist appointments and my therapy appointments. Talked a lot about it. I finally got on, I think I figured out what like a dosage of ADHD medication I needed. And if you are curious, I am on 40 milligrams of Vyvanse. So I started on Concerta. And I don't know why it's like kind of stigmatized to talk about like your medication and the doses, but I find it so helpful, and everyone is completely different. But it's nice to have kind of like to hear from individuals their experience. I was on Concerta, which is like the same as Ritalin, but it's extended release, and the dosage that I needed for it to make a difference for me was too high because it was also giving me side effects. My throat felt very tight all the time, which for someone who has like a food allergy, like anxiety, not ideal. And it was just making me feel kind of weird. So I had to get off of that and start Vyvanse quite low. So I was kind of like out of it because it was a very low dose, and ended up working my way up to 40 milligrams. And I was like, this feels right. This feels good. Because I wasn't super noticing it. My days were just easier. I was doing what I felt like I should be doing. My abilities were not held back by something in my head. So sometimes it feels like it's a little too low. But I've been on that for a couple months now, and I'm leaving it at that for a while, you know? So that's been good, and I was so glad that I got that figured out, because my god. Again, I'm sure some of you can relate how annoying it is to try to like figure out some sort of like medication doses, especially if it takes a while to settle in, to feel it out, all that kind of thing. So I was very happy that I did that, and my psychiatrist and my therapist both were like, you need to be working out, because for people with ADHD, apparently it is, like it's important for everybody, but apparently it's like crucial for the ADHD brain to get a workout in every day. I was like, okay. Honestly, thinking back, I think this is valid, because every time that I was kind of on like a workout kick and I would work out every single day, I did feel so much better, just in general. So I got a Peloton for my birthday. Only mildly ashamed about it, because I feel like Peloton is like, you know, I don't know. You don't need the actual bike. I will say the app is almost definitely worth it. You can use whatever bike you'd like, or if you don't like biking, they also have strength, running, meditation, yoga, stretching, boxing, Pilates, bar. Like they're like, let me give you everything. Very worth it. But that was my birthday present from Ben. I asked him for it. It's not like the commercial. And so I challenged myself to do that every single day, and also do a lot of stretching and yoga. So that was huge to have that time for myself every day, because I hadn't worked out in, I don't know, like the last time I had truly had an exercise schedule was when I was living in Los Angeles, and I was doing the Jolene as sickly anymore. I'm like, wow, crazy, right? Crazy. So, validation there. If you can try to find 20 to 30 minutes of your day and find some sort of exercise that you get excited about. I really did like I like the Peloton classes a lot because it's someone telling you what to do, and I personally like the bike because you like strap in, you're there. I'm in the zone. I move my legs, but I'm not doing burpees, you know? Burpees are fine. My calves, I've never had calf muscles before. They're popping off. So I'm very happy with that, and it was a good reminder that as many times as you hear it, that you should work out every day, you should drink enough water. Like, you should work out every day. You need to drink water. You do. And sleep. Always sleep. Boom, bam. Brings me to my next point. The next thing I really wanted to figure out was my schedule, my day schedule, my work schedule, my sleep schedule. It was in the garbage, in the trash. It was non-existent. It was insane. I was getting things done when they could get done. There was no plan. I think it was stressing Ben out. It was stressing me out. So we sat down and talked about an ideal week. So this one is for the people who maybe are like self-employed or don't have like a steady work schedule, freelance, something like that. As much as it is like amazing and great that you work your own hours and you can work at home and that kind of thing, there is such a benefit to having a semblance of a traditional work schedule for your own sanity and your brain and your productivity, and then eventually your free time. So Ben and I sat down and we made an ideal week, and one of the biggest things I did was I set filming days, because I used to just be like, whoa, this video is going live now, so I have to film it sometime before then with giving Best enough time to edit it, and that's about it. There's no schedule. So I really made a filming schedule, which was so helpful, especially with Satine, because she'll go into daycare if I'm filming, so she can like run around and play. She doesn't have to sleep all day while I film because she's a very active dog. So to figure Satine out and her training, taking training classes, Ben and I spending time together, you know, we really like weekends to be weekends, because that's when he works less, because he works a lot with brands and creators and things, and brands and those kind of companies follow the Monday to Friday work week, and nobody's really bothering him on the weekend too much. So we're like, okay, well, it makes sense to treat weekends like weekends, and that's when, you know, if we ever have friends visiting or we want to go travel or anything, the weekend makes sense. So just figuring that out and getting myself to wake up at 9:30 when Ben wakes up and Satine wakes up. I wake up then and I go to bed when Ben goes to bed. Again, sounds so simple, but I can't tell you the entire time that Ben and I have ever lived together, that has been a struggle. Getting diagnosed with ADHD helped a lot, but very oftentimes my schedule would be flipped where I'm going to bed at 4 a.m. and it really wasn't a productive 4 a.m. It felt productive, but I very much prefer this, and especially with the dog and just wanting to be around Ben, you know. Getting myself on that sleep schedule has been huge. The latest thing I've realized is to not let myself go up to my computer late at night. That's what gets me, because I will sit at my computer all night. So if I don't allow myself to go up there, that's really what keeps my sleep schedule in check. One day you let me upstairs and you let me go on my computer, I will be up till 4 a.m. and I have ruined my sleep schedule instantly, like that. So instead of having the self-control to, like, once I'm up there on my computer, be like, I'm just weeks, so I'm gonna keep doing it. Like if I really need help, to just do it. Again, in the morning when taking my medication, when Ben gets up, he always gets up before me, like literally out of bed before me. He will walk around to the side, he will put my medication in my hand and hand me water. And it seems so silly and so over the top and so like, come on, just do it yourself. And yet, if it works, it works. That's all I'm gonna say. The other thing I worked on a ton were the Hades costumes. So I did publish both of them. I think I can do the thing where I link them, like in the corner. But if you play the game Hades, I worked on a collab with Atlas ASMR where I made the costumes. He did the special effects. We both wrote our scripts, and we did Welcome to the House of Hades, where I was Meg. In the second video, I was Meg and he was Achilles. And then the first video, I was Hypnos and he was Hades himself. But I had to make all the costumes, and oh my god, I forgot how time-consuming cosplaying is and making things. Because there's not really like a 80s costume you can just pick up from Amazon or whatnot. And there's a lot to be done there. So I spent a lot of time during my break doing that because it was kind of like my passion project. They were never gonna get a lot of views. It was very niche. It wasn't deep your attention, you know. It was us doing something that we both found very fun and interesting and creative, and that's something that I've talked about a lot before. Again, maybe if you're an ASMR creator or YouTuber or, I don't know, just in general, perhaps you can apply this to your own life. But I find that, like with ASMR, if you get stuck doing one thing, and then you only do that one thing because that's what gets the views and the other things don't really get the views, you are digging yourself into a hole that's going to be really hard to get out of. So even when some things perform very, very well on my channel, like the fastest ASMR, that performs so well that I can't ignore it. We gotta do more, and luckily enough, they're super fun to make. I feel creative during them, and I love making them. So I'm glad that you guys really enjoyed that. Like, if you chose one thing to pop off, I'm glad it was that. But if I made my entire channel that, then if I ever made anything different, the people who came would be like, this is not what we want. This is not what we came here for. I don't want this. And you're stuck only doing the one thing. And eventually that one thing's gonna get really boring for you and for your viewers. You can't do one tiny, tiny, tiny thing forever, you know? So I've always stuck with the varietal content. And even though when we go into the realm of like the passion projects, they're not gonna get a lot of views. It's niche, but I really wanted to make it. I wanted to see Hades ASMR. I thought Atlas would be freaking perfect, and I was right. He was freaking perfect. And so I made it. I couldn't not make it. I was like, this will be such a good ASMR video. So I had to, even though, like, is there any way we even broke even monetization-wise? Probably not. But it doesn't matter. You know, sometimes you have to just do things, and the people who did watch them and did enjoy them really like them, so I'm so glad. But that is like, don't worry about some videos being flops. You do have to follow like your passions sometimes. Sometimes you can do the content you know is popular. Sometimes you can do the content you know is not going to be that popular, but a lot of the time, maybe your audience doesn't know that they want this. Like, trust me, I'm going to give you this. You might not have known to ask for it, but you may like it. Try it, eat it, taste it. So that's my philosophy on that, and so far it's gone quite well. I just kind of go with the flow. I do try to think about, I don't like making throwaway videos where I don't really want to make it and it's not going to do that well anyway. I try to stay away from those, obviously. But that's that. We hit 4 million. slash when we ever hit 5 million subscribers on this channel, I will be ready to just release the present that is Shrek ASMR. That's my plan. So, we hit 4 million. Absolutely mind-boggling. The other big thing I just wanted to say is for, again, my fellow ASMR creators, because I've talked to quite a few of you individually about this, kind of when I announced what I would be doing. I think a lot of us are in the same boat. And again, like other YouTubers as well, people who do content creation full-time. Because it's such a grind. And it's terrifying. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's not like terrifying, but the reality is that you live in this mental state where your audience could just disappear. Or YouTube could, I don't know, just like wrongfully delete your content or your channel. There's not like a lot you can do about it. And so a lot of people's fears is if they take a break or if they're to leave, their viewers will not come back, and their livelihood will not return, or the YouTube algorithm will not like that, and the algorithm's working fine for me now, so I better not touch it, like I better not bite the hand that feeds me, like I have to be so careful not to ruin this fragile thing. So it was scary. It was just inherently scary for me to try something new in terms of the upload schedule. But I will say, I am so pleased to announce that it was fine. It was fine, and I'm very glad that I went for the 1 a week upload schedule instead of just taking like 2 weeks off of no videos, taking a longer chunk of time, 2 months, and just having less content instead of no content. I think I might have to do this. I probably will do it like every year, if we're being honest. Especially because January and February, I believe they are the lowest viewed, like, in general. Like, people just aren't on YouTube as much in general. And after the holidays, it's the kind of the fiscal year reset. There's not a ton of ads. Everyone's monetization is down, kind of thing. So January and February really makes sense for everyone to kind of take a breather, get their life together, and I'll see you in March kind of deal. But having 1 video a week was very interesting for me, experiment-wise. One thing I noticed that I need to be careful about next time is I tried to overcompensate because I felt quite guilty that I was only giving you guys 1 video. I was like, well, if I'm only giving him 1 video, it better be a dang good video. So I had kind of like this pressure that I hadn't felt in a long time, because typically before, if you don't like Tuesday's video, maybe you'll like Thursdays. If you like Thursdays, well, I have one coming out Saturday. 3 a week felt very pick your poison kind of thing. And if it doesn't work for you, that's fine. But if I'm only doing 1 a week, I suddenly was thinking about, what if people don't like this? And then they have to wait a whole another week to see if they like the next video. So I definitely kind of overcompensated with that. The videos ended up being really long, which is fine for me, but not fine for my editor. So I gave Vest January and February off as well. So he was paid like normal, but we only did 1 video a week. However, especially in February, the videos were an hour plus every single time. Next time I would definitely like to actually keep them a little less. I know a lot of people really do enjoy the long videos, and I enjoy the long videos too. Because for me, filming for 20 minutes versus 60 minutes is only a difference of 40 resonated with you. I hope it helped. I hope, or at least I hope it was entertaining if you're curious where I was. Just getting my life together, honestly. And now I'm back. And here we are. So, that's pretty much it. Otherwise, I'm just gonna keep rambling. But if you have any questions, maybe, if I forgot to cover anything, let me know. Kind of just gave some bullet points. But yeah, thank you guys for sticking around. I hope that, you know, it kind of sort of becomes a trend where if you're in the space where you are making your own hours and stuff, there's a lot of pressure to, you end up working more sometimes, but just keeping your mental health in check, keeping your sanity in check, and it will produce, if you're a content creator, it will produce better content in the end. Like, my videos now feel so much less rushed, so much